All right.
Welcome in to the Two Timers.
Yeah, if we had a good little audio dub there.
Welcome back.
What's up, boys?
What's up, my friends?
We'll just sit here in silence until we get one viewer.
We go for
Ooh,
20
boy.
minutes. We shall text the group and say, where are viewers at?
Yeah, I thought sponsorship must really be lacking if we're not getting any eyeballs on this.
It's just our viewership's going down.
I mean, to be fair, we're also waiting on our guest, who is experiencing some technical difficulties.
That's
So-
what he texted me too.
Hey, text me that too.
Wow.
Interesting.
Technical difficulties. Is that what they call it these days?
Mhm.
Just sitting on the toilet at the moment. Well, let's do
Hey,
that.
let's start this out by asking Clark a question.
All right,
Clark,
we'll get the
what-
backer music. Go ahead.
Why did you leave Kenneth Walker on the bench?
Hold up. We're gonna have this show just be the original Two Timers.
You know when I texted you that, I had no idea. Like, you hadn't told me yet.
I didn't mean to. If I'm honest, I didn't mean to. I texted Joshy earlier, and I was kind of back and forth with Kenneth and Carson Steele because I was like, well, Kenneth only came off of his injury designation like Saturday morning or Sunday morning. And I was like, who do I play? And then I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to just start Kenneth. Kenneth makes more sense. But I was out working outside, and I picked up my phone at like 4:05, and the game started, and I was like, well, I guess I don't have much of a choice.
See, I had to make a choice on Thursday night because it was either I started Kenneth Walker or Devin Singletary in my other league. And I was like, I don't know if Kenneth's playing. It hurt.
Well, it was worse. It was worse for you, I think, because at one point it looked like Jonesy Nice was going to be close, but I ended up losing to Jonesy by like 50 points or something like that. So
Yeah.
Didn't make a huge difference for me. For you, it might have decided your game.
I lost by 0.4 points, so it decided my game.
Oof, that is rough.
It hurt.
Speaking of people that I lost to, I'm no longer experiencing technical difficulties. We have our guest.
Hey!
Hey.
Classic on mute.
He's a muted guest.
My laptop was dead, so everything was very slow to fire up. Getting the link from my phone to the laptop access was another.
Yeah.
How old's your laptop?
I think I bought it used. It's no longer my laptop from 2009, but I got it used.
09? 09?
That's 16 years old.
Holy smokes.
No, that one is gone, but I
Oh.
upgraded. I upgraded to like a 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, that's getting up there.
Once a decade,
Yeah,
Jonesy
yeah,
updates
yeah.
his technology.
My next upgrade will be in 2028.
Well, as we get
Can
the
you
ball
hear me?
rolling here.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you. We got you. We'll roll things over to the Mets fan to get things going with our recaps for the week. And we'll get the worst one out of the way first.
All right, let's head into these recaps. Jonesy, how do you feel after this week? Feeling solid?
I feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah, I feel very good about taking a shot on Justice Hill. Dropped
That's
him and then
great.
picked him back up,
Yeah, that was a good start.
and he did very well for me.
To be honest, I didn't
Okay.
realize Justice Hill had that many points because Henry had so many. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he was right because they were up by so big. He just was. They were
Yeah, they
feeding
put him
him
in.
the ball. Yeah, and he scored, and yeah, Fryermuth
all,
with the
all on
touchdown.
all on receptions.
I also benched Olave in favor of Terry McLaurin, and that was I mean, Olave I think had maybe 10, 12 points, but McLaurin had a touchdown too. So took a couple risks, but panned out. Granted, I think I could have not. I think I could have thrown in anyone in those spots and still would have won.
Okay.
Dude, you didn't even
Anyways.
need to start Justice Hill or CJ Stroud, and you would have won.
You could have benched 4 of your players and still won. But
Yeah. So that at least
yeah.
is sorry, Clark.
No, it's
rough
okay.
week.
Not
again.
starting Kenneth
Clark.
Walker was
Yeah,
probably a
nerd.
mistake.
We already chatted about that. We got that one covered.
We got that one
Carson
covered before
Steele
you
is.
got on.
Yeah, no, we won't go. We won't revisit.
Is Carson
so
still
I
droppable?
Who?
He is droppable. I think I will not drop him quite yet. We will see.
So Clark, outside of your receivers, pretty grim week for you. How much are you regretting spending that much fab on Steele?
It's been a fun experience. You know, it's like when you go to the casino. It's like sometimes you just put money down for the experience. You know, you're not going to get it back. It's kind of how I feel.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. So outside of that, I mean, Jonesy's team, if you look across the board, pretty solid week. I mean, the Justice Hill pickup obviously helped him out. I'm not sure you can expect that out of him every week, but
No,
good week.
definitely not.
Montgomery, classic touchdown game. And then McLaurin, seems like him and Daniels do have some synergy. And then it's obviously nice to see Stroud have a good week again. It's been a couple weeks, so solid point total, solid win. Puts you back in the 2-2. I think you're back in the playoff picture now. So
I have the third most points scored in the league. So I wanna believe that things will bump my way. Hannah had a very well deserved victory against me, but I'm still a little upset that I would have beaten
Little bitter.
most other
Yeah.
players in the league. Got unlucky there, but that's okay.
wow, I forgot Clark picked against himself.
That's right. We reached that point in the season where I just pick against myself. I'd rather win the pick'em than.
It's tough to win when you have
fantasy
Derek
team.
Carr as your quarterback.
Now
Sorry.
I understand why Clark benched Walker.
That's right. I'm throwing for picks for
He needs
$5 a fab.
he needs those fab dollars.
I did spend a lot on Steele. We'll see. Gonna recoup it somehow.
Back to down to the next match. I think Josh's one is Dave going to score over 100 points. Lives on. Just a rough year for Dave so far. Outside of Deontay Johnson and Andy Dalton's connection coming through, but can Aubrey or trade bring David's team back to life? I think that's the question we have to ask. And then Kevin, one of the two teams that was hadn't gotten a win, finally got his first win. But if you can pull up Kevin's bench, I think he started every single wrong player. I think he had about 150 points on his bench, which is insane. So if he had started the right players, I think
Jeez.
Kevin might have scored the most points in our league. It's pretty insane to watch. And then obviously Mark Andrews putting up a dud again. It's got to be a little concerning for him. And he dropped Parkinson. So I think he's banking on Andrews having a comeback, but he did just enough to get the win and get into the winner's circle.
It's a win, but
You
not a
guys-
win you want to be proud of, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see how Dave lost?
No, I did not. How did he lose?
You guys didn't watch the Monday night games? It was literally in the last 30 seconds of the Miami Tennessee game, and Tennessee was already up by more than 2 scores. And for some reason, they gave Pollard the ball on 4th down when they were in the red zone, and he scored.
Oh, I did not see that.
So Dave
So he had to
literally
win until the end of
Yeah.
Monday night.
there was no reason for Tennessee to score that touchdown other than to,
Ouch.
I don't know, maybe they wanted to get Pollard the touchdown. So
Wow.
Ouch.
it was brutal.
Also, Kevin benching benching Jalen Hurts? What's
Yeah.
going on there? For Tyler Huntley?
Got to teach him a lesson sometimes, man.
He wants
I
that.
guess.
He wants,
I mean,
he
Hurt-
wants
wouldn't
the
have come down
Miami
to the last
stack,
play
right?
if Jalen Hurts had
I mean, Hurts only had
had
5 more
started.
points. Hurts looks horrible this year.
That's enough for victory.
I understand
We'll
the
see.
play because Huntley runs a lot. You're expecting
Yeah.
a lot of rush yards. Probably get a
Yeah.
touchdown here or there. So
I think he just liked the Miami-Tennessee matchup, which ironically did not work in Miami's favor.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
on to Matt and Ryan. I think Ryan showed signs of humanity again. His team, Lamar, Neighbors, Kamara, Connor kind of carried the team. Another dud from a tight end here. Pitts with the 0. Seems like it's something going on in our league this year. A lot of very poor tight end play. But some of these bigger names putting up duds. And then you have to ask if Tua going out is really hurting Achani a lot here, or what's going on there too, or if it's just they were blown out that they benched him. So he also lost me a parlay this week, which I was a little upset about. But anyways, on to this matchup. Matt's team still struggling outside of Burrow and Chase had a pretty solid week again, but losing Rashi in the beginning of that game really hurt him. I mean, getting 0 points from Mahomes, taking out his own players' knees. Never a good thing. And then Jones had a solid week, but outside of that, his team just really struggled this week. I mean, Cook, one of his workhorses, also put up a pretty big dud, as well as Etienne. So Ryan put up enough points to get the win, but I mean, I think this is the first week Ryan's put up under 130 points. So maybe maybe there's something
Coming
there.
down to earth. Coming down to earth. Also worth pointing out, I didn't watch the game, but I think I heard that Atlanta game. I think Atlanta won without scoring an offensive touchdown.
Correct.
Wow.
Yep.
So Bijan, London for you, Jonesy, I guess, and
Yeah. Pitts.
Kirk Cousins really not looking too good.
Reoccurring
Pitts
theme
not
for
looking
Ben
good at
here.
all. But
Picking the
Matt's
losers.
Wasn't it?
trending downwards.
Ben trying to go outside of us.
Yeah.
Experts.
You know, he's not a mainstay. He hasn't learned how to do the pick 'em quite yet. You know.
He'll get there. On to the brother matchup. Dan's team looking solid again. I think we've harped on Dan's team a lot this year, but the Daniels and Brian Robinson connection seem to be really bolstering his team here. Daniels looks insane right now, so we'll see if that continues. And then Evans, I mean, just constantly being Evans and just putting up 20 points every week. And then the surprise, I think, on his team was Chuba putting up 20 points. So it seems like Carolina's offense is kind of, even though they lost this week, is just they're you can kind of rely on their players a little bit more with Andy Dalton.
Red rifle.
But Ben's team had a solid week as well. I think he would have beat most of the other teams in the league, which is unfortunate.
Everyone else.
That's very
that's
the
unlucky
unfortunate part
for
of
Ben.
fantasy football right
Very
there.
unlucky.
But yeah, his team had a really good week. I mean, Baker had a solid week. Harrison again with another touchdown, and then Jordan Mason. I mean, I really don't think he's missing a ton with McCaffrey being out the way Mason's playing. And then solid.
That's true.
From
He's
his
been a
kicker
top 5 running
defense,
back.
so, yeah. Sucks
But he's not
to
getting
lose
enough
that
from
one.
Laporta, well, I mean, not getting enough obviously is tough for this week, but I know Laporta's been a little bit of a disappointment. And then
Every
his
Titans
wide
being a disappointment.
receivers were always going to be a tough spot. But at least he's getting some input from Mason. So
Yeah.
the bright spot.
Bijan had a nice touchdown call back.
Oh yeah.
Wow, we guessed this one right, Josh? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Riding the hot hand.
On to my matchup of the week. Snuck this one out on Monday night as well. Came down to DK and Tyler versus Fant and St. Brown. And kind of really finally secured it on that last St. Brown touchdown. So, but Hannah's team was fighting till the end. I was sweating it out on Monday night, that's for sure. But if you look at my team, I had quite a few duds and then quite a few superheroes. So Henry's game really saved my week with that 96-yard touchdown run at the beginning of that game. So him, Reed, and St. Brown kind of carried my entire team. Outside of that, my team looked very bad this week. But Darnold putting up another solid week for Hannah. I think that trade of Lawrence or Darnold. It seems to be paying off right now, so we'll see if that keeps going. And then outside of that, I mean, she had some decent games, but no other players that really just like stepped up for her. So just kind of hurt her across the board. But I'm always happy to get a win. So
Yeah. Uncharacteristically
the luck
bad game
streak
from Josh
continues.
Allen.
yeah, Josh Allen had a terrible week, and so did
That's
Zay.
true. The luck streak continues with 106 victory. 106. Last week 107. Week 2 100. And
Put up 100 points, you should get the win, Jonesy. So just
Strength of schedule
wait. You said
comes
you
into
have
question.
the third most points for it. Who has the second most points for it, Jonesy?
Well, thanks to a clearly disproportionate week 1,
Is that what it
where
is?
he happened to score 155 points and trounced his opponent.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I think it's LGM over here.
Wait, who did I beat the first week?
Some would say. Somebody was putting up points otherwise.
You walked into that.
You'll play again. You
Just saying, your
Would
lucky
you get
streak
another
continues. Your
Would
lucky
you
streak
get
continues.
a last
so.
minute last week?
You'll get another chance.
Man, Ben's
Arguably
0-5.
dating back to last year. It's a lucky streak.
Yep. On to the cousin matchup between Josh and Nat. Josh gets his first loss of the year. Unfortunate. Fortunate play from Brees. I mean, that game was just dreadful to watch. Let's be honest. Brees and Ridley had dud weeks. I mean, he had solid week from Gibbs. Tennessee start was a solid defensive start, and Dak put up some good numbers as well as Brian Thomas. I think the Brian Thomas pick is playing out pretty good for you. He looks solid this year. Nat's team had a great week. Nico, Taylor, Ford, all of them putting up good points, and then finally getting some life from Kelsey. I think that's probably a good sign for her. Had first decent week. I mean, got him the ball at least 7 times. So
He's got no one else to throw to.
Yeah, it's down to him and Xavier Worthy at this point. So we'll see how that keeps playing out for Kelsey. I mean, I know they're stacking against him. So, but yeah, Nat keeps putting up solid weeks. That's her third win. So she's having a good year so far.
Kelsey will have to be probably the biggest beneficiary of a Rashee Rice injury. So that'll look up for her. Although Jonathan Taylor, I think, has a high ankle sprain now. So
yeah, which will probably stretch out to a couple weeks at least.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
We were all over the map on this one. We had more faith in you, Josh.
Sorry.
It's okay. Our final matchup of the week was a real doozy.
Real doozy. We have the Bears versus Micah here. Unfortunate for Micah to lose AR in that game, because I think if AR stayed in that game, he would have got the win pretty easily.
Yep.
So that hurts. But other than that, CD, Pickens, and Koo and his defense, the rest of his team just looks not good right now. So, I mean, kind of going back to that Brees comment, Garrett Wilson and Braylon Allen in that game, just there's no points being scored by fantasy players in that game. So, but Mitch, also the other team without a win, got his first win of the season alongside Kevin. So congrats to him. Pittman and DeAndre have had solid games. I think Chicago didn't let him down this week, which is unusual. But Swift coming alive has to be a good sign for him, and hopefully that can keep going. I mean, I know they're playing the Rams, so we'll see. But outside of him, yeah, the rest of his team was hurting a little bit, but did quite just enough to eke out the win against Micah. So we now no longer have any winless teams in our league.
A lot of 1-3 teams.
Micah ruined my perfect pick week.
Speaking of pick weeks, so to recap,
the Bears play the Panthers this week. So just be prepared for more Bears potential.
Yeah, Mitch could have a back-to-back winning streak going here. Depends on who the Bears play every week, I guess. To recap our picks, Maresco did pretty well this week. securing a 6-1. I did not do as well, but I didn't do as bad as some people that picked with us. Setting records in, I guess, the inaugural "Are You Smarter Than a Two-Timer" series. We have Benjamin, guest on the show, going 0-7.
Nice.
Oh no! You can't
That's
get any
good.
worse than that.
I triple checked this. I was like, "There's no way he went 0-7," and I went back to every single pick. Wrong way.
You got to press the buzzer button.
Yeah, that's right. That
That's-
probably deserves a couple of.
It's probably why Ben's not in the comments this week. He's just too embarrassed.
It's true. Good point.
I mean, we didn't set any. I honestly don't know if we agreed on a fab number to bet last week. I don't remember talking about it.
I think it was
Did
50.
I mean, I think there should be a punishment involved if you go 0-7 while on the show picking. If you're out just entering the picks, whatever, but on the show. So
That's pretty funny.
that is. Jeez.
yeah, that also leans into the "Are You Smarter Than a Two-Timer" this week. We had Maresco and Jonesy, our guests, with the best 2 pick streaks, and then everyone kind of in the middle-ish, except for myself. Only -1, aside from Ben, who once again went 0-7. So if we were wagering money, I think if we assumed we did a fab dollar, like we don't have to do a payout this week if you guys don't want to, but it would go to Maresco. So
I'm good with whatever. I'm fine with saying we did not.
okay, we'll let it pass this time. We'll make sure to discuss it in more length this week before we kind of make our picks and everything. So also from last week, even though he was pretty bad at making picks, he does happen to have a quarterback that throws the ball a lot. So Ben did make $5 in fab
wow.
because Baker Mayfield threw the ball almost 50 times.
That's just a lot of time.
Baker's balling out this year.
Yep. Just chuck him. Much to
And
the
his-
chagrin of Tom Brady, who was throwing pot shots from the booth.
It's too bad Ryan didn't start Jordan Love.
How many passes did Jordan Love throw?
54.
Oh,
Wow. Off of
Wow.
his injury. Jeez. Guess that's what happens when you get down quick.
You're down 28-0.
Didn't lead to a victory though. Too soon.
Did not.
That's why the Packers aren't Maresco's background this week.
They're being punished. All my Packers players are being benched next week.
They need to be motivated.
I mean, they're putting up
Well,
good
speaking of-
fantasy numbers.
A couple of them, which might lead us into this next little bit, which we haven't had yet this day.
Haven't.
So there have not been any trades made yet this week, but I think specifically between the people on this call and a few others, there has been a lot of trade discussion, and I think we might have the potential of some live trades on the call here now. I'll kind of turn over to Josh. Josh, you've been doing a lot of trade, talking, negotiating, hitting the phones hard today. Where are you?
Oh yeah.
One would say almost attuned to some famous NBA GMs.
Yes. Yeah. Hence the name Daryl Morey. Hopefully everybody's familiar with him. If not, please go read up on him. Wonderful man. Yeah, it was a long day today. 6-7 hours of
How much
working the phones.
And nothing has happened yet.
Had Jonesy back out of a trade this morning that he said he was going to do a couple days ago. So that was kind of rough.
We never accepted anything.
No hard feelings, but it was tough. But
I said, and
What
I
was
quote,
the trade that was rejected this morning?
we should wait until the dust settles after the week. And I saw what I needed to see from Tajay Spears.
Wait, so what was the trade that was rejected?
so it was Xavier Worthy and Tajay Spears for Terry McLaurin.
I don't think that's a terrible trade.
No, I
No,
don't
very
think it was a
fair,
terrible
very
trade,
fair trade.
but
Very fair trade.
yeah, no, I mean it made sense.
It was a 2-for-1. I would have needed to. And
Yeah.
this morning I realized I needed to drop somebody else because my IR slot is now gone with Njoku coming back. So I would have had to drop essentially 2 players to make room for,
Yeah.
for the
Spears
and give
wasn't
away McLaurin.
playing this week. That's a call.
And Spears is not playing this week, which is when Montgomery is out. So that
Yeah.
it's running back help is useful because I don't think Justice Hill will repeat to Maresco's point.
Yeah.
But I do really like Terry McLaurin. I think he's got something going. And I do think that there's value there. And I do think Xavier Worthy's a good pick too, potentially with Rashee Rice going down and some possibility of new targets.
Got some
Shares
competition
opening.
there
So
with Juju.
I don't think Juju's
Can't
gonna be
say
in this game.
I thought that name would ever be mentioned again. The context of fantasy football.
Watson.
but-
What's the Watson kid as well? Yeah, that strong Chiefs receiving core.
Yep. But yeah, no, I mean it started with Jonesy, that didn't end up working out. But then I had this thought that came to mind. It's like, what about a 3-way?
Josh thinks about this regularly.
All the time. And then, fast forwarding, it turned into, okay, I don't know if the 3-way is going to work. How about a 4-way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
A 4-team trade is incredibly complicated. A lot of salaries involved.
Very
This is-
dangerous.
This is cash considerations potentially in play here.
honestly, if we were able to complete this tonight, that would be kind of a championship for me.
You really are Daryl Morey Jr.
Yeah, I am. Oh, I love trading. It's so much fun.
All right, so what are we talking here? I'm down to trade, even if it's just for the fun of having the league mixed up a little bit. I think trades are good for us.
I have no regrets over trades that many people supposedly have taken shots over. One of my partners is on this call. And at the time, I think everyone thought that I won the trade, but luck is not on my side.
Where's that championship trophy? Yeah. Slide that puppy in.
You want me to grab it real quick?
We can't see it, Marissa. We can't see it.
Oh, hold on. Yeah,
We don't.
I know.
We really don't
Give me a
want you to
second.
grab it.
You want me to grab it?
Hold
you want
on.
me to grab this thing?
Yeah. Go ahead and grab it. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead. Wait, we
grab-
still can't see it.
yeah, I'm
We still
getting
can't see
it.
it.
We're getting.
We still can't see it. We still can't see it. We've lost connection with Chris. I don't know how or why, but
Showing up.
Bummer.
Why is it not showing the stupid background? The stupid virtual background. Oh, yeah. You see those names on there?
now it just
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
Derrick Henry has won a trophy.
That's true.
Jonesy, didn't KP the other night basically like slap you? Basically be like, none of the trades that you've done in this league have ever worked out, or something to that extent. I don't know, because we were talking about trades when we were at Clarkie's, and
That's definitely possible.
KP's even aware of your spotty
The
record.
trade failures.
Trading.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
I'm a lot more hesitant. Again, I think the trade that you had presented earlier was fair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
knowing my luck, I trade away
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin, and he becomes top five wide receiver the rest of the year.
Pax
So I
is
will
very
say,
interested in the trophy
think-
right now, by the way.
What do you say?
Pax is very interested in the trophy right now, by the
Oh
way.
boy,
Be
she
careful.
gonna cheat? She gonna cheat that or?
Probably.
I was thinking she was thinking about a 3-way.
So, so Clark, you need a quarterback.
I need a quarterback.
You're in the
Derek
market for
Carr
a quarterback.
is supposed to be bouncing back, but I'm not that patient.
Yeah. Jonesy, you're in the market for a running back to not, to fill the gap this week because Monty's on a bye, right? But I think you're also kind of looking.
Yeah,
I
I have some pretty solid wide receivers. So, I mean, Mixon is questionable, and if he's back, then I should be fine. But
Mhm.
if he is out again, then I am very much screwed. So, yeah.
Gotcha. And then Moresco, you just kind of got pulled in to
Yeah.
complete the four-way, right?
I'm always
Mr.
down for a good
Forno.
four-way. I
Mike
could
is
use a
not there.
tight.
Where's Micah?
I'm going to throw a wrench in the conversations we've already had. I would
Uh-oh.
like
Oh,
I would like
no.
Njoku.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Interesting.
I would like a tight end, and I don't want Fryermuth because I had him last year and I hate him. But Njoku, I'd be
Frymouth has
interested
been
in.
good for me.
So,
Fryermuth was very good this week.
Actually, he's only been good this week.
I know he's that kind of guy. He puts
So
up
maybe
5
we
points,
should,
then every 5 weeks he puts up 15.
Right.
we should
All right. So
kinda-
what players are we putting?
Yeah,
on the
what
table
players?
here? At least
Okay.
initially. What are we? Who are we
So
willing
for
to
me,
part
it would
with?
be
What do we actually
Njoku
want?
and McLaurin, but I would need to be to give up both of those guys. I would need to be wild, frankly.
Richly rewarded.
I'm willing to part with the name that was thrown out was Eckler. Originally. And I know this is a weird one, but Tutu Atwell is pretty much the number one wide receiver in LA right now. So I'm willing to throw him in there too.
Debatable.
I have a lot of receiver depth. So JSN is potentially on the table. Wicks, who is a $1 or $2 keeper before adjustment and is stepping up into a bigger role in Green Bay, is potentially on the table. Steele, I know that's going to be a real hot commodity.
Wow.
Oh, I want him.
A $56
I'm willing
commodity.
to let him go for less than $56. Okay, this is a bargain. So yeah, I got options.
Yeah.
The only people I really am not willing to let go of my starting running backs, and that's kind of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm bringing Justin Fields to the table, Tajay Spears, and Xavier Worthy. So
I'd like to
Is there
present
something
at
here
least
that makes sense?
at least the thought that I think that McLaurin is the best asset on the table right now.
maybe
I may be wrong.
he had
But-
2 really bad weeks to start off the season.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
to be fair, we're
That's
talking
fair.
about like right now, pretty much
Washington.
everyone we've listed out there is probably a flex play or a bye week play or a stash
Right.
of some kind. No one. We're
That's
not talking about like starter stars here. You could argue that for Fields, I guess, but it's also a quarterback. So I think that's kind of like the realm. We're not talking about like dropping a Deebo Samuel or Amon-Ra
Right.
in here.
Right.
Although Jonesy made a great point.
I will
Really,
never
yeah.
forget Maresco last year texted me saying, "Hear me out. What if we go 8 people? Let's go even bigger."
Oh my God.
We had a 3 for 3 lined up, and I was like, let's go big or go home. 4 for 4.
Ooh,
Uh,
that was a massive deal.
What's the big deal?
so what?
So I will also throw
Well,
this. Into the
this is
equation,
Josh.
okay?
Josh, Daryl Morey needs to. You need to lead this conversation. So.
Clark,
I
what,
mean, I
go
got
ahead.
one other cog to throw into the works here, and you could take this 2 different directions. I'm talking with multiple owners, as Daryl Morey well knows, and another trade that has been positioned to me is with Ryan in the form of Love and James Conner for Justin Jefferson, which is a rather big name to be thrown around. But in the context of both of our teams, the trade kind of makes sense. So I'll just say this is kind of a, you know, an incentive to you all to potentially keep Justin Jefferson away from Ryan, if that matters to you. That I need some form of quarterback out of this situation. Or if you make the deal good enough, Justin Jefferson could enter the trade equation. So I'll leave that where it is, but kind of a floating piece there.
Gotcha.
I'm willing to part with CJ Stroud. I'm just throwing
Whoa!
Oh,
Interesting.
This foursome
Clark
got a
just-
lot
Clark-
nicer.
Clark just talked about potentially parting with Justin
I am
Jefferson,
not willing to part with Josh Allen.
a top 3 wide receiver in this league. Like
Wow.
The best
okay.
strategy.
JJ should not be on the table. CJ Stroud should not be on the table. But like, I'm just saying, if quarterback is
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I mean, we'll use those as last ditch bargaining chips. I don't think
Sure.
either of us want to part with those players. And we're not at a point in the season where I think any of the 4 of us feel like we need to make something happen. But I'll let Daryl take it from here.
To be
Yeah.
honest, the only reason I'm willing to part with Eckler right now is because of Hunt. Like having the game he had last week. Like I feel like I have a decent backup for now until Pacheco gets back.
it's a great pickup.
But like
Steele
Eckler,
could make that even better.
What about Hunt for Steele?
I don't know. I wouldn't do that trade.
Nobody really thought that Hunt would be this quickly ramped up, to be fair.
I'm not gonna lie.
And then,
I've heard
Carson
rumors.
Steele fumbled, they decided maybe we should give this guy Kareem Hunt a shot.
I've heard rumors that the Chiefs' backfield is very up in the air right now. Not, but even within Carson Steele's range, but just that like Kareem Hunt's an improvement, but he looks slow. So anyway, we don't have to get in the Chiefs' backfield, but
He averaged 4.9 yards per carry on Sunday. He looked good. He had double-digit carries. Caught a couple passes.
I'm not the experts that say he doesn't look great. You know, those are the experts.
Interesting. I don't know who your sources are, but okay. Okay, so this is. Let's throw something out here. Okay, tell you what you think. Naturally, Clark, you would get Justin Fields. Jonesy, you would get Eckler and JSN. Moresco, you would get Xavier Worthy and Tajay Spears. And I would get Terry McLaurin.
I'm not terribly opposed.
I think it
That would
works
that would
for
work for
everybody.
me.
Oh, wait, Eckler to Jonesy.
Yeah, you said that. I get
I
Tajay
did.
Spears. I get Spears.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So hold up,
I'd be
Moresco,
up for
you're
that.
giving up what and getting what?
Giving up Eckler.
I don't think Spears needs to be a part of the deal. Moresco's just giving up Eckler and getting Worthy.
I'll take Spears.
I-
from there.
If you want to take Spears, I'm willing to just give it to you. Because I need a roster spot.
I would
But
also say
You're
I
giving up
wouldn't-
3 guys, aren't you? Are you not?
I am.
And
this
you're only
is a
getting
David
1
Dean
back?
trade from
No,
Josh
you have
Baker.
3. You'll have a free. You have an extra roster spot in this. Okay,
Potentially,
I'm just
yeah.
making sure that. Okay,
Yep.
that works for me.
I would prefer to not give up JSN just because I really like him. Like if this trade would work with Wicks potentially, I'd prefer to do that.
Jonesy, that affects you.
It also depends on how long you need receiver options for, Jonesy. Like Wicks definitely has a more viable role, probably even than JSN, as long as Watson is out. And then it's kind of what happens after that.
Right. Yeah, Wicks doesn't really do much for me, to be honest. Like, I think he's only benefiting because of the injury. And to be fair, I think JSN really would only like be the level of a McLaurin if Lockett gets hurt, right? Or if
I think JSN is the clear 2 receiver in Seattle, at least with a higher ceiling, personally. That's why I don't want to get rid of him.
yeah, I guess they just still seem to feed the ball to lock it. It's like, you know.
JSN had 12 targets.
Yeah, Jason has over 10 targets, I think, every game.
No, he had 2, 16, 3, 12.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, it's yeah.
I mean, I think Wicks had a silly amount of targets too. I think they're very comparable right now. Like Wicks had 22 points on 13 targets.
Yeah, it was after Watson went out, and Watson's probably out for a few weeks. So he also dropped like 5 passes.
I would be hesitant, like Josh, to do effectively from my part. Then that's just JSN for Fields. I would be hesitant to do that personally.
Yet you said JSN was on the table.
He is. He can be a part of things.
Would you
I'm not
want
saying that I'm
another?
opposed to trading him. I'm saying I don't want to just.
What do you want?
I don't know. Out of the pieces on the table, like I have a lot of receiver depth, but like the receiver depth that I like is with JSN included in that because I just don't trust Debo to stay healthy.
What if you get Spears?
I don't know how I feel about Spears. I hadn't even thought about that. So Spears and Fields, and I'm giving up JSN?
Yeah.
Let me think. Continue your discussions. I'm going to do some typing.
Moresco, you're good with what you're getting?
Yeah, I'm good with those
Yeah,
two.
you
I
would
think
be,
like
you would be Moresco. You would just be cleanly Worthy, Eckler for Worthy, right?
I don't know. I'm not. I was doing some research on that one. I'm a little worried giving Eckler up because I just don't have that much depth at my back. That's why the Spears thing was actually more enticing.
That's fair. Yeah.
Eckler for Spears and Worthy feels like a fleece.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
sorry,
like
I'm
that
just
is
gonna say that.
that's a high price.
Now, if you're willing to give something else up, ship it to Clark to make it a little bit more even for giving up JSN. I don't know. I also would. I'm a beneficiary of a 2-for-1, so I can throw in somebody else. I mean, I don't think Clark needs Njoku, but if you wanted Njoku, then
No, I'm pretty fine on.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Njoku.
you have Brock
Right.
Bowers. Yeah,
I've got
you're
Brock Bowers. I'm going to sit with him for a bit. So what are the pieces of this trade that require all 4 of us to interact versus just a couple of us to interact? If that makes sense.
Well, I think Moresco.
I think this is very clear.
Reason Moresco got dragged into
four-way.
the trade because Clark and I didn't have a running back like Eckler to give up. So Moresco kind of solves Jonesy's problem. I need a receiver for this week. And I like McLaurin. I feel like he is trending up. So it's kind of like a shot in the dark a little bit. Clark, you get a quarterback. Moresco gets a nice receiver out of it as well as a solid keeper.
Are we within 5 minutes of completing a trade, do we think?
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have to continue.
We can finish
on
this off the
live.
call.
Yeah, we can always do this off the
I think
live
we're
stream.
close
Continue
though. I
chatting.
think
Yeah,
we're generally close.
I think we can make it work. I think we're about there. But I want to make sure that everybody gets what they want. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I know I was an ass in text messages and stuff earlier, but
Let's bring this up.
Yeah.
I think that trades are fun. I would like to do a trade. I think it's just
Yeah.
like probably how all of us are feeling, which is like you don't want to give up too much or players that you like just to get a trade done. You know, it's like
Yeah.
if the trade makes sense, yeah, let's do it. We're all going to feel risky with the trade, but yeah.
I feel like the value's there,
Oh.
like for the most part.
I feel like Clark feels the most like he's giving up the most value for the least return right now. So that's what we need to figure out.
I think, and also I'll say this, and Josh and I have gone back and forth on this over the last number of weeks. I like Fields as a quarterback, but the way that I view Fields is that if he has a couple of bad games or the Steelers keep on losing, he's going to get replaced potentially, or at least that'll be a question with Russ. And I think obviously our league quarterbacks are kind of not that easy to grab and replace, but I think it's harder to replace someone like JSN than it is a quarterback like Fields. If Fields was in a position where he was the starter no matter what, and game script, wins, losses wasn't going to impact things, I'd feel differently. But that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Flip side, I mean, I think if you're looking at the current, after 4 weeks, quarter the way through the season, he is a top 5 quarterback, just on
Yep.
currently points per game.
Is he?
I think so.
Mhm.
He had
So-
he had a pretty bad
Now
start
that's
to the
just
season.
based off of the current. I mean,
I mean,
like,
all of his
I
bad
think anything
games-
can happen, but
All of his bad games were better than Carr's past 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I mean Carr is not
He
my
started Derek
solution.
Carr.
Carr is not my long-term solution, but I think that there's a piece of it that's like there's other trades that I can make, and also like, yeah,
do not
I mean,
trade up Justin Jefferson.
Well,
But that's the thing.
honestly,
Like,
Don't do it.
I'm not opposed to it though, because if you look at my once again my receivers right now, who are probably playing a little bit better
You
than
have
they
a
need
lot of
to be.
depth.
But
That's
like
true.
I have Justin Jefferson, Diggs, Debo Samuel. That's before we're even talking about JSN or Wicks, who Wicks is a little bit more of a long shot, but a high potential long shot. Like I don't have a lot of running back depth, and I don't have a quarterback. Justin Maresca's upset. He can't do this anymore.
Yeah, Rashad White has been bad for you.
Right.
That's
So like that trade actually ironically benefits both Ryan and I a lot. Probably benefits Ryan a little bit more because it just makes his team really strong. But it's not a bad team. It's not a bad trade for me. Anyway, let's move on. We'll after we end the live stream, let's continue to talk and we'll see if we can get something to work. I think our kind of last order of business here is going to be to do our picks for the week, which brings us back to the Are You Smarter Than a Two-Timer? I will send out a link to the chat right now. And we can make sure people submit their picks. All right, so I sent the link out. We can all submit our picks. And obviously, anyone who wants to contribute, this is an opportunity for effectively free fab. Do we want to agree on what we want to wager here? Anyone willing to do more than $1?
I'll do 2 this week.
Yeah, I'll do 2 as well.
2? Yeah, I'll do 2. That's fine by me. Jonesy?
2.
All right, so the way that this will work is that we're all wagering $2. We're agreeing to wager $2. That money will go into a pot, and it'll go to whoever scores the highest pick total, both here and asynchronously through the picking thing. The only way someone picking mobily can win is if they pick better than us. Tiebreakers go to people on the call. So just to clarify, we can go to matchup 1, at least according to me, and we'll go Jonesy, you're our guest. You go first. We'll go Jonesy, Maresco, me, Josh, and then we'll kind of snake through.
I mean, I think it'll depend on this trade.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I can tell you
Nebraska's
that if
somehow
it
able to
changes
upgrade
anything,
a tight end.
Derek Carr will not be my starting quarterback.
That's
this
fair.
weekend.
That's fair.
So,
Um,
if that changes anything.
I can also tell you something. Josh Allen will not be my starting quarterback.
I'm going Maresco. Derrick Henry's just been he's been too tough to stop.
Maresco, to you next.
I'm picking myself.
I'm picking myself.
I'm gonna go Moresco.
Okay, give me an option for a breakaway here. I'll take it. We will go Moresco pick first. Oh, it hasn't gone to me yet. For Hannah David matchup.
Ooh, Hannah's running back situation is not pretty. She might be without Devontae Adams this week too.
I am gonna go with David.
I'm going David.
Oh,
Saquon.
a lot of order
is-
there,
yeah.
Jonesy.
Oh, sorry. Oh no, that's right. We're going up. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. You have time to change your pick if you'd like to. I'm going Hannah.
And that's me, Dave. What Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Saquon out that's a tough buy. The bye weeks have started.
We've got a little Matt versus Ben. Some friendly action here. It's me first. Where's this matchup? Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna go Matt.
I'll go Matt.
Now it's you, Jonesy.
I'm gonna go Matt. I think the Bills have a bounce back week. James Cook.
I'm gonna go Ben.
All right, Josh, this is you first. This is Weggy versus Ryan. Let's not overthink this one or take too long here, guys.
I'll go Ryan.
Ryan.
Ryan. On to the next. Another brotherly matchup. Josh, we have no idea who he's starting this week as of right now. Jones,
Is it
you
me?
first.
Yeah, I need to pull up. Josh's bench. See
You're
actually
wrecked,
who he
Josh.
has. Oh, by apocalypse for Josh. I'm going Dan. Yeah,
I wasn't joking.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I'm gonna go Dan as well.
I'm going Dan.
I'm going Dan.
Trying to secure the win, Josh. Respect it. Now we have the other bound for Denny's. This is Mika versus Natalie. And this goes to Moresco.
I'm gonna go Nat.
I'm also going Natalie.
Natalie.
Yeah, Nat.
And then on to our final matchup of the week, our guest versus the Bears. I don't know why Yahoo does this, but Mitch always seems to be the last team we pick, like at the very bottom. So here's what it is. I forget who picks. Is it me?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bears versus Carolina is really interesting this week.
Yep.
I think it kind of hinges potentially on our trade and Joe Mixon's health.
Did you watch any of the Rams game on Sunday though? Because the Rams defense is not great, and the Bears just look putrid.
All right, I'm going, Chris.
But fantasy wise, it still DeAndre Swift showed out.
I locked in my picks in with Jonesy.
Yeah, Caleb Williams though, like in his receivers, they're just like not in sync. He wasn't pretty. Oh, Chris.
Yeah, myself.
Yeah, Chris.
All right. That's all of them. I actually totally forgot to. The last thing we technically need to do is determine fab for this week. So we'll end it on a little picker wheel action. What are you guys feeling? Sounds like someone's cooking something that sounds tasty.
Dishes.
Post cooking. What have we not done? Running
We done
backs?
tight
We haven't
ends?
really done running backs. Running backs and we did tight ends, I think.
Yeah. Running backs.
Let's do
Running
running
backs with the most
Alright.
receptions.
How about fullbacks?
Who's starting a fullback, Josh?
Whoa.
I think like 2 teams. Put my money on Kyle Juszczyk.
Longest singular run.
Are you tracking that one?
Mr. Derrick Henry over here.
Well, I would have won it this past week. So
With what's the easiest thing?
Longest rush?
What'd you say?
The longest rush?
we already have
Longest singular
I
run?
did that.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
This is not all-purpose yards. This is rushing yards.
Most rushing yards, okay.
running back with the most receiving yards.
Sure.
And that, I guess that one would hope that'd be the same as the most receptions, but running back with the least
There we go. Sound okay?
fewest points.
Fewest points is easier to track than fewest yards. That's all I'm thinking.
He's thinking of Carson Steele.
Yeah, he's thinking of Carson Steele in his head.
Carson Steele's not starting for me this week. There's no way.
Oh, that's the
Oh.
Carson
Oh
Steele.
boy.
The Carson Steele Award.
I mean, to be fair, if you are really doing well in the league, you know, some of our undefeated teams potentially, or 3-1, and you just really need some fab.
Come on, Ryan.
Consider throwing someone in there. Maybe even someone that's just sitting in like your IR spot. Well, on that note, we're gonna log off the live and probably continue talking trade. Now that everyone, well, the 2 viewers have heard our trade talk, and I'm assuming people potentially will watch this after the fact. If we don't get a trade done, you now know that we are all open to trades in some capacity for some players. So
Yeah.
let's get things moving.
Too bad nobody was in the chat today. Kind of hoping somebody would jump in and be like, you know, count me in.
$10,000.
$10,000. Oh, Buster.
Any parting words from Jones?